We've got some stuff to get into here today. I mean, we just had a Brawl News episode yesterday. I don't know if I would call this one a Brawl News episode, but it still got some important info. We have a challenge coming out very soon with further details on that. Some awesome social media posts that were just released today that might be a little bit more lore related, as well as I want to speculate as best as I possibly can with the info that we know of already as to a concrete date that Gus should be released. But before we get into the fun, a quick word from our sponsor here today. You guys, I am excited to say that today's video is sponsored by the Razer Kishi version 2. There are a ton of solid improvements to this newest version, as you guys can see, one of which is the extendable bridge, allowing you to fit even some of the biggest phones. As you guys can see, I have a pretty solidly sized phone here. It's got a really nice ergonomic design that fits really nicely in your hands, along with some amazingly satisfying clicky buttons. Oh my gosh, the feedback, it's amazing. Now, after downloading the Razer Nexus app, which serves as this hub for all the different games that are compatible right now for the Razer Kishi V2, which is completely free is always good, you'll be shown a wide variety of different games through the app that you can have fun with the Razer Kishi right now. One of my favorite things about the Razer Kishi V2 is it actually has a button that you can press on the controller itself that will bring you into the Razer Nexus app and launch the different games that you want to play. But of course, some of the more top mobile games that you can come to expect to be able to play on the Razer Kishi V2 right now are Fortnite, Diablo Immortal, Minecraft, Roblox, as well as Catalyst Black. Now, the fun doesn't stop there. If you guys are fans of Xbox, I find this to be such a gigantic feature. You can actually stream the Xbox Game Pass on your Kishi. And on top of that, you can play on your Xbox anywhere from your Kishi, which is so dang freaking cool. What the heck? So of course, if you guys are interested in the Razer Kishi V2, make sure to go check it out for yourselves. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of fun. Make sure to check out the link in the description down below if you are wanting to pick one up for yourselves here today. But with that being said, let's hop straight away back into the video. Here we go. So starting things off here in today's video, taking a look at the official Brawl Stars Twitter page with a tweet that came out 5 hours ago with a really interesting image, but they say, what's the origin story behind your favorite brawler? Brawl origins. But taking a look at the image here, there is a wild debate going on right now in regards to this small child, the centerpiece of the photo being either Sam or Colt. I'm personally leaning towards this child being Colt, as strange as that sounds, seeing that they have orange hair as well as just a small tuft of hair, kind of like what we see on Sam's model right now. But it's definitely not uncommon for a child's hair to change in color as they get older, as they grow into certain things. For example, my hair is a little bit of a dirtier blonde, a darker blonde, but my goodness, when I was a kid, it was like almost white blonde. It was crazy. So things change as you get older. So he definitely could have grown into that red color. Also, some other context clues in the photo, we have things such as potentially Belle's glasses here, as well as other things that might be related to the other parent, Sam, the boxing gloves. Also, it's important to take note of the other characteristics that the kid has, such as the belt with the gun and the holster, definitely reminiscent of things that we see with Colt, and definitely not Sam, seeing that Sam is a brawler, or should I say brawling brawler. I guess that makes more sense. But other key details, as you can see, they're looking at themselves in the mirror. Another huge detail that is perfectly correlated with Colt, always praising himself, always looking at himself in the mirror, thinking he's beautiful. Some other key things that I want to take note of here, as you guys can see, we have some Star Park stuff going on here, one on the pacifier and one on the belt, which is crazy. This kid is decked out in Star Park. So yeah, definitely a very interesting photo. Not only is it giving us a look as to how Belle and Sam were like in this kind of theme that we're in the robot factory way in the past, but if indeed this child is Colt, it's giving us confirmation that Sam and Belle are indeed the father and the mother of Colt, which we have speculated on in the past. Be sure to let me know what you guys are thinking about the photo. I found it incredibly interesting. Always fun to break down these things. But getting into our next important topic of the video here today, and that is a very fun challenge right around the corner called the Prettiest Prettiest Bot Challenge, which is coming out in 2 days at the point that I'm recording this video, September 14th. It is almost identical to the last 8-win challenge that we got, with the end prize being the robot profile picture, but this time around the maps are just a tiny bit different. You can expect every single game in this challenge having the angry robot modifier on it. I saw a few people a little bit annoyed by it. There's a little bit more RNG going on in these game modes, which I guess can be fun every now and again. But the challenge starts off in gem grab on double swoosh, and then we move along to bounty for the next 2 matches on hideout, and then hot zone on ring of fire for the next 2, and then to finish it off we have knockout for the final 2 on flaring phoenix. And if you're able to complete and win this challenge, you can expect this beautiful profile picture, which actually has a little bit of theory crafting and speculation around, which I guess we can bring up at a later date. But now, with the challenge out of the way, it's time to get straight away into the speculation as to when Gus should be arriving in Brawl Stars, and this is a very loose speculation. I cannot be 100% certain, although make sure to keep in mind your boy Ray tried so freaking hard to the point where I got a little bit manic over trying to find a specific date. Editor Ray popping in here very quickly. I just want to warn you all before we proceed that we get pretty dang deep into speculation. I tried very hard in finding some sort of correlation between different seasons and when brawlers are being released. I went ultra sweaty try hard, man. So it might be a little bit daunting, but I at least wanted to showcase some of the stuff that I ended up finding and maybe getting closer to a Gus release date potentially. But before we go down this speculation rabbit hole, I think it's important to take note of the actual evidence that we have right now, and the only bit that we have to go off of, and that is Danny mentioning that Gus will be released late in September, which is so puzzling to me after looking through all of the crazy stuff that I did with each of the seasons where 2 brawlers were being released. My goodness. But we know that at least late September, so it could be September 30th, 29th, 28th, the ending week sometime in September, I would suppose. Now, what's so puzzling about trying to speculate when Gus is coming out with the info that we have right now is based on all of the seasonal updates where we received 2 brawlers within them, one the chromatic and the other one a different rarity. Most of the time you can take a look at the halfway point of the duration of the Brawl Pass and then go about 2 or 3-ish days past that halfway point, and that's around when the Brawler is released. For example, for both Season 6, where we got Bell and Squeak, and Season 7, where we got Griff and Buzz, both of these seasons were a 70-day duration back in the day when we had longer time gaps in between each seasonal update. But for both of those seasons, the new Brawler, other than the chromatic, was released 39 days after the Brawl Pass was released. So we take a look at the halfway point of the Brawl Pass and go ahead 4 days, and that's when the new Brawler was released. Now, this practice stayed pretty dang consistent even once we had shorter duration Brawl Pass seasons. For example, one of the more recent seasonal updates where we received 2 different Brawlers, Season 12 with Janet and Bonnie, the Brawl Pass duration was 64 days, but the equation that we utilized on those other seasons, Season 6 and 7, also worked on Season 12 on Bonnie's release date. Bonnie was released June 6, 36 days into the 64-day Brawl Pass season. If we cut 64 in half, the halfway point of the season, and then add 4, we have 36 days. So it seems like this ongoing schedule, even though sometimes it ebbs and flows, is the Brawl Stars dev team likes to release the brand new Brawler in these seasonal updates just a few days after the halfway point. I don't know if this is just coincidence that some of these seasons do the halfway point and then 4 days after that. So I'm sure you would all imagine with this cool little equation, I was pretty dang excited to test it out on this season as well to see if it would work. But indeed, it did not. The season is a little bit weird in regards to when the Brawler is released, whether or not it's because Gus is a little bit lower in rarity or the duration of the Brawl Pass, but quite honestly, Gus's release is like backwards to what we've seen before. So this Season 14's Brawl Pass duration is 57 days long. Now, if we take the halfway point of Season 14, we're already in the month of October, not even adding additional days to it, much like we see from other seasonal Brawl Passes. And from what Danny ended up saying in the Brawl Talk that Gus is going to be released late in September, this all kind of falls apart. It is earlier than the halfway point. So the educated speculation is kind of thrown to the wayside because of this. So what we're left to be able to do to try to speculate when Gus is being released is just an educated guess. I could potentially see him coming out on the final day of September, being September September 30th on a Friday, but I got a feeling given from past updates when new brawlers are released, typically they are released towards the end of the month, but not on the final day. For example, Griff in Season 7 was released on July 29th, technically in the shop after the challenge was complete. Grom was available in the shop after the challenge on December 29th. So I guess my best guess is either the 28th of September or the 29th, Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm so dang mad that I wasn't able to get any more specific than that. And truly, hey, I could be completely wrong about that. Danny said later in September. It could be literally this next week, maybe like the 21st or the 22nd. We don't know, but I guess my gut or my hunch right now is September 28th, 29th, 27th, around there. Also, I do want to mention that we'll probably get some sort of Easter egg in regards to Gus's release date as well in the upcoming days, whether that's in like a social post or something along those lines. But my goodness, you guys, I have looked too much into dates here today. I'm leaving it at that, and I'm fine if I'm wrong at this point, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, everyone, that's about all I got for you here in this video today. Hopefully you all found it useful or anything like that. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, you guys. Have a good one.